All right, there we go. I got the thing up. It's running. It's good.
Good
Well,
evening.
yeah. Welcome back to Morbid Mondays. My throat is messed up. And
Sure to be an interesting show.
yeah.
Ah!
What you get for screaming at babies for 6 hours.
Why? What? No. You can't just drop a statement like that and then expect to move on.
Yeah, kids had it coming.
Jesus.
Hey, I haven't eaten all day,
Uh-huh.
and I'm super hungry. Maybe even hungry enough to eat a whole baby. That's your context clue for this episode.
Oh no. I think I might know what this is.
This will be this is a fairly famous story and one that gets passed around a lot. So there's a pretty good chance that you've heard this, maybe not all the information about it, because there's so much to this bonkers nonsense. And I think I figured something out about it that I've never heard.
Huh.
I was kind of proud of myself, if it is indeed true. This is the story of a person called Tarrare.
I'm familiar, but pray go on.
Yeah. So our story starts with the first coalition war,
Uh-huh.
which is basically when the French Revolution happens. All the kingdoms go like, democracy, fuck that, and they band together to invade France. But of course, because the revolution was so popular, their army is massive, and they are actually able to hold a lot of places off. And because the other monarchies, because they are monarchies, are all kind of still fighting each other.
Yeah.
It should have been open and shut. It should have been really fast and done. But it wasn't, and it lasted a long time. All the European powers, Austria, Prussia, Great Britain, Spain, aimed to stop the spread of revolutionary ideas. French Revolution is from 1789 to 1799. The First Coalition War is from 1792 to 1797. So it kind of takes place in that thing.
Man, there's a lot of fuckery that goes down in that 1650 to 1847 block.
Yeah. So much fuckery, in fact, that a lot of our stories and stuff,
all of the 1700s is just what the fuck.
Yeah, constant. I mean, constant. It's 100 years of constant warfare, and because this is the start of transcendentalism and part of the Enlightenment and romance writing and all that stuff, it's all bullshit. Half of the stuff you read is nonsense, and you're just like there were so many in this time. There's a lot of French gossip columns.
Yeah,
and they get people killed all the time. In fact, specifically in this time period, the very end of this, it starts in the First Coalition War, and it ends in 1804. But it's the first French Republic, and it kind of bands together because of this aggression. Mm-hmm. Because people go, "Oh fuck, we need a leader. We can't be complete anarchy, right? We're about to face a big army, and everybody else is crowding in on our stuff."
Mm-hmm.
And it ends. This kind of time period ends in 1799, right after the First Coalition War, when the French Revolution kind of peters off. And it peters off, as you know. This is background story for Tarrare, so that people understand.
We are setting the scene.
Yeah,
because we have learned to do that.
There's of course this guy named Robespierre, and he's fucking insane. And at the end of this French Republic thing, he's like, "We have no gods. We'll make a new one." And then that god is called liberty, and they make a big thing, and the rest of the revolutionaries are like, "Oh, he's officially bought the farm."
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we're making a big cult. Yeah, we've all gone total Lord of the Flies. And it's called, for most people who write around this time, it's called the Great Terror.
Yeah.
this time period, because people are just dying left and right. A guy gets stabbed to death in his bathtub. It's crazy. So like, very famous.
Shockingly common.
Yeah, right. A lot of like,
How dare you take a bath?
right. That's how Agamemnon died.
Yeah.
That's how like a lot of people die. Like a lot of famous assholes die
I guess
in a bathtub.
I guess it could be argued that like when you are in the bath, you are at your most vulnerable because
Yeah.
you know, typically, unless you are like royalty, you've shooed everyone the fuck out of your room because you know nudity is equal to sin.
Yeah.
Even your own nudity. Do you know that people took baths in their shifts?
Yeah.
For the longest time. Can you? Ugh.
In the 1700s, like Benjamin Franklin was kind of like revolutionary for sunbathing, meaning that he swam without clothes on.
Yeah.
And like skinny dipping.
Yeah.
Which was like a health thing at the time. They were like, you need to expose, because
well,
people
I
were
mean,
not
so is like
exposing
perineum
themselves.
sunning right now. So you know.
Oh, come on. I will never get that image out of my head of like that guy like with the like bomb thing, and he's like standing in front of a red laser on his balls. And it's just like, so here's why I can't get it out of my head for that movie that I think it was like Tucker Carlson or somebody made.
I don't even know.
It was like a man thing. Red light therapy does a lot for you. It's actually not like bad or anything.
Oh yeah, no, those like red light serial killer masks.
Yeah.
That like are really
serial
really,
killer masks.
Okay. Listen,
Yeah, they do.
I follow a lot of like beauty influencers because you know I'm a girl and I'm an aging girl, so like you know I have to not do that because according to society I'm not allowed to age past 25. I'm also not supposed to weigh more than like 99 pounds, but you know I have tits. Anyway, moving on. But like I'm well versed in the red light therapy nonsense, but all of the I say nonsense.
There is a little science to it. Yeah.
There's actual like proven science and stuff to it. But why do the red light therapy masks have to look like fucking like serial killer masks? Like it I don't know. I look at the red light masks and my brain goes Jason Voorhees.
Yeah. Well, because of the shape. Yeah. And then like I laugh because of like if the red light laser is powerful enough, you're just kind of like getting the hairs off your balls slowly. You know what I mean? Like we've all seen the light intensity.
Talk about laser hair removal.
Yeah, so like I don't think it's obviously I don't think it's that strong. They would notice. But like yeah, it's just strong enough to stimulate collagen.
Yeah.
And so you're just sitting there going like, this is not really doing a lot. Like, don't get me wrong. Like airing out your junk, being naked is in and of itself a thing that you should do from time to time to not be like swampy, you know, like, but like standing in a big field with the laser light. And I was like, why don't you just like lay down? You don't have to like raise your legs up in the air. Just
Sir, why
down.
are we death-denying?
Yeah, right. Like flexing and like it reminded
full Superman pose.
It reminded me so much of like those old Soviet films. You know, like,
yeah.
Where the guys were just like,
ta-da!
Yeah, and he's supposed to be like Adam or something, you know, like and like the Nazis did very similar stuff, but like not saying that like ball sunning is a Nazi thing. It's just saying like it's a propagandist thing, you know, like and everybody has a version of this to some degree. But like so ball tanning aside,
sorry, I didn't mean to take us on this odd little rabbit hole.
This all ends with another man famous for ball tanning. Napoleon Bonaparte is like the end of this period, right?
Yeah.
Like everything goes to shit, and when things go to shit, people go, we need a dictator. They do it like all the time because there's no direction. And then people look for direction in somebody who just absolutely believes they know the direction that you need to go in.
These are all of the rules we will follow.
Yeah.
We will follow no other rules. They are my rules. Shut up and listen.
Yeah. And that becomes relieving if you've lived in total chaos for like 10 years.
Yeah.
And so like in Napoleon, like as dictators go, you could do worse. You know, like Napoleon wasn't like insane. He was
also not short.
Not short.
Also not short.
Average height guy, fairly muscular.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Listen.
Yeah.
Listen, we can detour into Assassin's Creed again because, like, meeting Napoleon in Arno's game. Why was Napoleon hot?
He was a very capable commander. He was kind of thought to be pretty handsome when he was younger.
Yeah,
He was like
I mean, have you seen his wife?
Yeah, right.
God, you gotta be some kind of like handsome, charismatic, and or packing to like bag that because she was fine AF.
Yeah, he was super. Everyone he met said he was hyper charismatic.
Yeah, I believe that.
The guy that we're about to talk about is neither handsome, nor tall, nor charismatic, and I would even say maybe horrendous. So my theory about, because his name is Tarrare or Tarrare, depending on which version you get, and I straight up think this is a francophone terror. I think his name is Terror and he's Tarrare. You know what I mean? Like he's just because that
makes sense.
Tarrare is the Italian version of this, and so it's like there's French and Italian, and it's like terroir and or Tarrare and Tarrare, and it's like depending on how it's spelled. Mm-hmm. And so I really think they're just calling him the Terror. And so, but in 1772, right before, things are going on in America. But here in France, a young boy near Lyon, France is born. It is unknown what his actual birth date is due to lack of record. That's pretty normal.
He's a common boy for this era.
Yeah, he's just born at some point, and they go like, well, he was born in the spring of 1772.
Yep.
Somewhere around August, so
they still didn't really pay attention to you until you were like 3.
Yeah, I mean, you had a 50% chance of dying. They didn't really, they weren't too bothered.
Yeah.
A lot of records in this time period for birth are actually from the Catholic, like for you joining the church when you get your confirmation.
Yeah.
They record it, and so like that's kind of your official birth record for a lot of people. He was a relatively normal child, except for his massive appetite. He was always hungry, so hungry his parents are having a hard time feeding him. Regardless of that, though, he does grow up healthy. He doesn't have like rickets or anything like that. Sources say that he has soft, fine hair. And despite like all of his appetite, he's small. He only weighs about 100 pounds by the time he's like 17.
Whoa, he's a little guy.
He's a very small guy. He was smaller than I was a very small guy. And I was like 20 to 30 pounds heavier than he was. And so I was like, that's crazy. It's real little. Like he's like the size of like for a farm boy, he's the size of like a 9-year-old.
I was about to say,
he's real young.
That's like a 10-year-old child.
Yeah.
And he's this at 17?
Yeah. Like, I mean, and you might be asking like, how hungry, how fast is this guy's metabolism? It's said that by the time he was 17, he was able to eat a quarter of a young bull in a single day.
What the okay, so we actually, like, our family unit just literally sat down and is like in talks to buy like a half a cow.
Yeah.
A half a cow. Like, we live in Texas. That's a thing we can do down here.
Mm-hmm.
But I in fact, I believe, to quote myself, I said that'll feed both of our households for like
months. Like in eating other things too, but like a quarter, if we split it between us, would fill both of our deep freezes.
Yeah.
It's a fuck ton of meat. I mean, it's a 2,000 pound animal. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot of beef. Like, so so this is obviously not sustainable as parents, as like French peasants after the big revolution. So he hits the countryside. They basically have to like semi-abandon him. Also, he's 17. So in this world, he's like a grown adult.
He's grown.
Following bands of thieves and prostitutes all around France. Very la vie boheme. And
now I want to watch Rent.
The gross version. Let's see. To feed his insatiable hunger, he steals and begs until he has a lucky break. After meeting with a traveling charlatan, he becomes his opener. And as you might have guessed, his act largely considers of him eating. But eating all kinds of stuff. Bottle corks, trash, sometimes live animals, small live animals.
gross.
I assume bugs at this point, and also whole apples.
Like the whole thing?
The whole thing.
Like just
he
like
swallows them whole.
Ow.
So a little bit of history context.
Fucking...
Apples are smaller at this point. They are not the big jumbo varieties that we know in grocery stores. Yeah, they're smaller, but they are apples. So like crab apples are a specific breed. These are about half the size of a Red Delicious.
Okay.
They're denser and they have more flavor, but they're still apples, right? Like
these are apples before science got hold of them.
Yeah, like the small, like when you get like a Granny Smith and they're kind of small, about that size. So like, yeah, this is before the great American horticultural breeding of apples.
School lunch apple.
Yeah.
Okay, but still, ow?
It's still an ow. Like, how the fuck does that go down his throat, right?
I have problems swallowing my vitamins some days.
Yes. So, like, throat goat, right? But this is helped by his truly off-putting jaws. When his jaws were fully extended, the space between his teeth was 4 inches.
Yo!
Yeah. Tarrare's mouth was said to be unusually wide, and his teeth were heavily stained. At one point in his career, he put 12 boiled eggs in his mouth at the same time.
How?
Like when I say 4 inch, I don't mean at the tips. I mean at the like molars.
Ah!
Yeah, like his jaw, like a snake. It just opened, and he had a giant jaw. There are paintings of him, and it's crazy looking. He looks like
I've seen some of the caricatures of him. Like that's how I'm familiar with him, is from like, you know, the sideshow pamphlet flyer things.
Yeah, with this guy with a huge gut and a massive jaw.
Yeah,
his body was. So this is from a Wikipedia thing that I read that it quoted a bunch of like different lines from a bunch of different books, and we'll touch on that here in a second. But this is quoting from Wikipedia. His body was hot to the touch, and he sweated heavily. He constantly had a foul body odor. He was described as smelling to such a degree that he could not be endured within a distance of 20 paces. The smell became noticeably worse after he had eaten. His eyes and cheeks became bloodshot. A visible vapor rose from his body, and he became lethargic, during which time he belched noisily, and his jaws would work and make swallowing motions while he slept. He had chronic diarrhea, which was said to be fetid beyond all conception.
Can't imagine why.
Right, swallowing live animals and whole apples. Despite the large intake of food, he did not appear either to vomit excessively or to gain weight. Aside from his eating habits, his contemporaries saw no apparent signs of mental illness or unusual behavior with him, other than the apathetic temperament with a complete lack of force and ideas, is what he's quoted in saying from one of these books, from one of these sources. So he was just kind of like lazy.
Yeah, he was just a dude.
Yeah, and then sometimes he would eat like 12 whole eggs.
At one time.
Yeah, and then still be hungry. In 1788, he moved to Paris to find work as a street performer, where he continued his antics. He draws crowds by eating bushels of apples.
Oh my God.
And sometimes rocks.
Why?
Yeah, he appears to be pretty successful in this. Can
you imagine what a rock, like just a rock? Like, I imagine it's probably not like, you know, the concrete rocks that we think about right now. So this was probably more of like a
river rock, or something.
like a smooth river rock or something, or like cobble. But can you imagine what that would do to like your GI? Yeah,
you go like to use the toilet and you look like a hen laying an egg. Like it's not like you're gonna digest the rock.
Not even that, but like just the internal damage that would be done, like from trying to
shit a rock.
Digest it, like it moving through your
and being that some rocks, this is fair warning to the crystal girlies out there, some rocks have trace elements that are actually quite dangerous and should not be in your tea and or mouth at any point in time. So those like cool quartz stirring sticks and shit, that's probably not a great idea. Like the clear ones are solid carbon, so
Listen. We're not going to talk about the crystal egg people.
Oh, fuck.
There you go.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, I didn't.
I was like, crystal egg. And I was like, what would you use an egg? Never mind. Used to call those, Benoits back in the day.
I believe they're called Yoni something or others now, but
Yoni
like
is so funny.
Scarred for fucking life when I read about that. I went, no. Anyway.
Oh man.
Listen, no judgment, just not for me.
Yeah, just please, for Christ, like source your stone. Source your stone. If you're gonna do stuff like that, silicon. You know what I mean? Surgical grade silicon. And
water-based lubricants.
Yeah.
Anyway.
He's not like star level. He's not like a major thing, right? But he's getting by. People know who he is.
Yeah. That I imagine that would be something hard to forget.
Yeah.
Like bro is probably like not only visually memorable, but like the act itself.
But like he was eating rocks, you know what I mean? Like
eating rocks,
hey,
entire bushels of apples, a dozen eggs in one bite.
Have you seen this smelly fucking gang teeth motherfucker that's like eating live rats and shit? And so he's doing good, but until one day during a performance, he just collapses in pain.
Can't imagine why.
He's done the weirdest mukbang of all time.
Bro.
And then he collapses. He's taken to a hospital at the hotel. I don't know how to say this. I think it's Dieu. It's just Dieu. Unfortunately, my French, not awesome. The oldest hospital in France, apparently. So this is like a hospital. It's super old. Tarrare is suffering from a bowel obstruction, perhaps from eating rocks.
Imagine how impacted this guy is. Fuck.
My God, yeah. So the doctors treat him with a laxative, of course, right? And he joked with the surgeon, Dr. I think it's Gerard, that he could swallow his wristwatch or his pocket watch and chain. And the surgeon told him he would cut it out of him to get it back. It's a funny anecdote from somebody who is not putting up with your weird shit.
Yeah, fucking don't. You're about to get in a knife fight with a surgeon and you're going to lose.
But this is like a kind of a turning point for him. So at the start of the first coalition war, Tarrare, this is why we went over that earlier, Tarrare joined the army, as a ton of French people did. They were super hype, right? He could carry tasks for other soldiers, or he would carry on tasks for other soldiers and run little errands and behind line stuff in exchange for rations, because he was just eating constantly, right? Despite the extra food, he eventually collapses from exhaustion. It's just not enough. He's burning through this food. So it's not just like he's got a huge gut. He is digesting this. After being admitted to the hospital, he was granted 4 times the rations of a regular soldier, but he was still hungry. Extra was found by digging for food scraps in the trash and eating patients' uneaten food. He stole from the apothecary and left the grounds to rummage for trash cans. So I'm going to stop for a second.
I wish y'all could see the look on my face right now, because like
one thing actually says he rummaged for offal, which is like the entrails you don't use in cooking, the fat scrapes and all that kind of stuff, tendons.
Offal with an O, not AW. So
this is where I need to stop. You mentioned it earlier, and we talked about it for a little bit, that like history from the 1600s to the mid 1800s in France, really specifically, but in Europe as a whole, is pretty sus. Like when you read somebody's account of anything, you're just kind of like, this sounds like it's blown out of proportion. And tabloids
tabloids and gossip rags are rampant.
Are everywhere. I mean, like, they're a big part of revolutionary France. They're literally, guys are writing pamphlets. The guy that died in his bathtub was writing pamphlets about, like, this guy's an enemy to the revolution. Like, and he was just making it up. A lot of people made a lot of shit up because it's not like, there was no like libel and stuff. And also cheap print pamphlets and stuff were like the rage.
Yeah.
You know, like everybody could get a book that's fucking amazing. So like this is like the start of like the pamphlet, the zine,
Yeah.
stuff like that, right? It's a small thing that you can buy for a penny and read. The newspaper, as we know it, is like a 1600s thing, like late 1600s to early in 1700s thing. And the standard like legal paper, the big long one that you get like your wedding certificate on, is the Gutenberg size of paper.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so we still kind of do this. It's pretty awesome.
Today I learned.
So the French have a tendency to embellish in literature. Many of the pre-revolution publishers came from money and titles and therefore couldn't be held accountable. And so there becomes like a culture of libel doesn't fucking matter, right?
Yeah.
And they would change names to avoid backlash. If anyone's seen Bridgerton,
yep,
it's that.
Hello,
kind of
Lady
shit.
Whistledown.
Yeah. So it's that kind of stuff, and it happens everywhere. So I'm throwing this in here to be like, Tarrare was a real person, 100%. And
yeah.
He was like a medical oddity. How much of this is like, and he ate whole animals in the street? You know, we don't know, right? We don't know to what extent this was true. But we're going to get into actual facts because some of the people who write about him are his doctors at this hospital.
And there is, in fact, there is a condition where like your brain does not register full.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is a thing that happens like today and now. So there are people that are afflicted with just this terrible, constant gnawing hunger.
Yep.
Even though they have eaten past capacity.
So we'll touch on that here in a second because
Tarrare. Yeah, let me flex some of my medical knowledge here.
And Tarrare is especially weird. There's a lot going on here.
Yeah, like his metabolism, in fact, sounds insane.
So he was ordered to remain in the military hospital to take part in psychological and physiological experiments.
Okay.
Designed by Dr. Corville. There we go. However you say that in French, the double L. Is it Silville?
It depends. It's contextual. Yeah. Sometimes it turns into a Y.
Yeah,
like it does in all of the most of the romantic languages. Yeah. But occasionally it will stay in L.
So it
kind of just depends.
He's a surgeon to the 9th Hussar Regiment, which is a cavalry regiment. The Pierre Francois Percy is his other surgeon in chief of the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
He's the guy that's going to write a lot of this. Many sources say this person and Dr. Percy wrote a book on this experiment. I just muddled that sentence. You know what I mean? This is largely how we know this story isn't completely made up. Corville and Percy decided to test Tarrare's capacity for food. He ate large meat pies, plates of grease and salt, and once was presented with a live cat. He ate it, sparing only the bones.
Why live?
I didn't.
Why live? Hang on. Let me pause you here for just a second.
Mm-hmm.
Why live?
So this is where I don't know if this is 100% factual. In the actual accounts, he like goes for its guts like an animal, and I think what they're trying to do is sell him as like a beast. Yeah, and this is actually not the only time I've seen this.
There's proof that we operate on the same channel because like we just went straight for.
Yeah. This is the Beast of Gévaudan and stuff like that. France is filled full of like man beasts that like tear people alive and eat cattle and shit like that.
Because it's a fantastic sideshow act.
Yeah. And so I don't think he ate this cat alive, but I do think he ate the cat because he's not the only one who writes about him eating live things.
Mm-hmm.
So he spares only the bones. He once ate a eel whole after killing it by biting its head. Now that's what I think happened with a cat. Tarrare seemed to enjoy snake meat especially. I think that's nonsense. I think he looks like a snake and acts like a snake, and so they were like...
Well, I mean, like, snake fritters aren't unusual.
No, but other snakes swallow snakes whole, and I think this is a bit of, like, fantastic alliteration.
Embellishment, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I see where you're going with that.
Especially after the eel. You know what I mean? Like king snakes do this.
Well, eel's another one that's, like, it's not unusual, like, are you kidding me? You've put eel in front of me at a sushi place. Watch me go straight fucking for it.
The best possible bacon.
Yeah. See, you get it.
Yeah. I don't know if I would swallow like a 2-foot eel whole.
Well, not with the amount of mucus they produce, which, by the way, in case somebody listening doesn't know, eels produce like this ridiculously gross viscous mucus when you pick them up.
Yeah.
Because it's an escape tactic. So, like, let that live rent free in your head for the rest of the day. Gross.
Yeah. Here's something that is worth. This is a quote from Percy, this surgeon. The dogs and cats fled in terror of his aspect, as if they had anticipated the kind of fate he was preparing for them. So the dogs and cats, meaning they had done this more than once. Right?
The dogs and cats are probably fleeing his general scent.
Oh,
because
I
their
imagine he
olfactory
smells like
is
murder. Yeah, like...
much, much, much more sensitive than ours. And he probably smells like this. He probably smells like a predator.
Yes, 100%. In fact, like earlier, we were talking about how like people got near him.
Like, he's not within 20 paces, right? Yeah.
And so after eating his fill, he would just pass out. Percy wrote his belly would extend like a balloon. His jaw would work while he was asleep. Soon the military brass started asking for his return. Because remember, he's an active duty soldier.
Yeah.
And they are like, bleeding people.
Yeah.
However, the two doctors wanted badly to continue their experiments. So they started convincing the army that he could be used for martial purposes. A small wooden container was fashioned to contain a secret message, and Tarrare swallowed it whole. After some time, it passed in a stool, and the box made its exit. When examining, the message was still intact. The box wasn't damaged. It came all the way through. This would lead our man to his next mission. Another box is made, obviously. It's super gross. Don't want to eat the same one. Your face is amazing. Yeah, he passed a box. I don't know how. I'm assuming, because remember back then people used to have like spy glasses that they would write tiny little messages.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's one of those.
Yeah, it's like a little rolled up thing in a little like wooden capsule. But I don't know, because again, he's swallowing whole fucking eels and apples and shit. It might have just been
like rocks.
Yeah, who knows? Shit.
Fucking hell. This man's digestive system. Fuck.
It's crazy.
Dude, I have Crohn's.
Yeah. He's the exact opposite of you.
And I'm like in pain for fucking days. Peanuts, forget about it. Like, and this guy's eating like...
He's eating fur.
Rocks.
Yeah, like he's eating
I'm hung up on the fucking rocks.
So another one of these things was made. Correspondence was pinned to forces on the Prussian side. Tarrare ate it and was disguised as a peasant, dropped off near that border, the France-Prussian border. Okay, quick history note again. Sorry, there is no Germany at this time. Germany is a bunch of free states. Go back far enough in history, it's the Holy Roman Empire, but in this time period, it's a bunch of different little countries. Mm-hmm. Like Saxony and Coburg and Munich, and like some of them are city-states. They're ruled over like a principality that is semi-elected and all that kind of stuff. But this is before Otto von Bismarck. There is no Germany. Like, Germany does not exist. So Prussia is largely, it's what you're thinking of. Like, it's Germany, right? So he was disguised as a peasant and dropped off near the Prussian-Franco border. As a reward for this feat, for swallowing boxes with messages and delivering the spy message, he received 30 pounds of raw bull's lungs and liver. This was delivered to him.
Specific.
Yeah. Well, it's the offal. It's just the stuff they're not using in the slaughtering of like food for stew for the soldiers. This was delivered to him in a wheelbarrow. After receiving this, he ate it.
No preparation, just
30 pounds of bull lungs and liver.
Dude, I struggle with like a quarter-pound burger.
Insane. So It's nighttime. He treks over the lines in the middle of the night, tried to put his performance background to work, and pretended to be a little like German peasant. One problem, doesn't speak German. So the Prussian townsfolk,
we forgot.
Quickly figure him out, and they're like, "Hey, what the fuck?" And now there are a couple of like Prussian city-states. This is true of Germany later on. They're like half French. This is the area that we're talking about. Right?
Okay.
Some pretty famous people come from this area. But he was captured. They alert the authorities. They go get him, and they lock him up. He's interrogated, spends a few days in jail. He is beaten, and he eventually confesses. A few more days pass, and the boxmate makes its way through, just like the other one. It turns out that the letter was a dummy message. Now, this letter, who he's trying to get to is an imprisoned French officer that he's hoping will receive it and pin back, like troop movements and how many soldiers are in this camp. Because a lot of these prisons are just in the middle of large, like, forts. But it's a dummy message, possibly a final test by the military brass. Some sources say that the message was never found. A version of the story has Tarrare being led to the gallows and then like released at the last moment. This doesn't make any sense to me, but he was released. He was dropped off by the French border. He did not return to service.
Can't imagine why.
The message, by the way, and everything does essentially say, if you receive this, write back. And like, that's how we know it was like troop movements and such.
Yeah.
Because like there was no intelligence in it. It was just like a final check. He went unseen until
poking someone on Messenger. Hey.
Yeah. And if you get this and you can understand the message, write about troop movements and such. But there's no intelligence in it. Tarrare was dropped off. He goes unseen, until 1798, when he asked for his old doctor, Percy. Well, he was on his deathbed, unfortunately.
Oh.
By this time, he was suffering from late-stage tuberculosis. The Red Death is killing, right?
Sick consumption.
Yeah. His autopsy showed that he had an unusually large throat and stomach, which was filled with ulcers. He had entered the hospital on the assumption that a gold fork he had swallowed was stuck in him somewhere. That's why we wanted to talk to Percy. He was like, can you get it out, right? By his admission, he swallowed a gold fork. Gold is an inert metal. No fork was found in his autopsy.
Well,
gold will dissolve in stomach acid.
Yeah.
Very hot acid, but gold will dissolve. And so...
Bro, what?
Yes. So there's a couple more things I want to touch on here. Because that's kind of like, that's what we know of him, right? He ends up in this hospital. He asks for Percy because he thinks he's going to die. Like he's got this like fork in him. He's dying of tuberculosis. They do his autopsy. And all it says, like, his throat and stomach were unusually large. We knew his stomach was going to be large.
Yeah. I mean, his esophagus.
His gullet was unusually large. When they opened his body up for the initial exam, because they check, like, your throat and shit, for, like, autopsy, like, for signs of swelling. They didn't know about poisons and stuff. So they're doing his initial exam, and when they make the cross-section, someone looks down his throat because they're like, his esophagus is massive. Like, it's big all the way down.
Yeah.
They can see inside of his stomach from his mouth.
Whoa!
It's just like a big tube. Yeah.
Whoa!
It's fucking nuts. Like,
that's...
Other sources and interviews say that he would just like... So he would just go to like a trash can because he was hungry and just start like shoveling stuff in. And like swallowing whole objects and stuff. And so there's a lot of conjecture about what's going on here. One of the main sources for this, that he writes a lot about it, is a person called Bondison in 2006. And they speculate that Tarrare had damaged his amygdala. in rats and some human, because we don't do these kind of things on humans, right? But it happens. You record medical data. And it's been in clinical trials and stuff with the rats. This has been noticed that in some animals, if you produce an injury to the amygdala, it can produce something called polyphagia, which is that thing that you were talking about earlier, where like you just start eating. You just start eating all the time. The other thing that can happen is that if the vagal receptors, like if the vagal nerve is damaged, you don't feel full anymore.
Yeah.
And so you just start eating. That's great. It explains why he's hungry all the time. What it does not explain is what the fuck's going on with that jaw.
Yeah.
The teeth staining makes sense to me. So there's a bit of a context clue in the way that he smells. And like the first thing that I thought of is like he's sweating acid. Like it's like bile, right? Like because they say he like eats, his eyes go bloodshot and his like face goes real flush. And so, you see this in stuff like people who have like liver issues. Their skin changes color and shit.
Yeah. Jaundice.
So he's got to be like sweating what he eats. But we just don't know. We don't know. And so like I was looking at, anyone listening to this, you can Google paintings and caricatures of Tarrare. And the way they draw him is fucking wild.
Yeah. He looks very froggish.
Yeah.
Like he's like got a great big open maw. He's portrayed with virtually no neck.
Yeah.
Why do I have a text message?
It's from Tarrare. No. There's but they said like he would eat and his belly would expanded. We talked about that a little bit a while ago. After he digested, he could grab his stomach and like wrap it around part of himself. It was like loose and hanging down.
That's
because it had expanded so wide. The other thing that people said, about him is that he starts going bald pretty quick, and he's very short. So like you said, like he's shown as being kind of froggish.
Yeah. By the way, Tarrare.
Yeah. Fuck, dude. And
like he's there are various images where he's just kind of depicted as just like all teeth.
Yeah, just
like the bottom half of his face just opens up and teeth.
Like John Leguizamo's character from Spawn.
Oh,
Malbolgia.
Good.
It kind of looks like
good
Malbolgia.
Reference, yeah.
So there's one more story I have of Tarrare. So this has to do, for some reason it got like booted from my notes, and I'm not really sure, but it's seared into my mind, so I can go back and tell you all about this. Remember when he went into the hospital the first time? Like he just passed out. And they were like, he's rummaging through trash cans, all that kind of stuff. And then they wanted him to stay. So the first time he collapses in the street from pain, and he goes and like he gets everything like expulsed out for a laxative. He would go in and like raid the apothecary and stuff. So he's like eating random shit.
Yeah.
They kick him out because he's so hungry. At first, he starts eating other people's food, like when they're asleep and stuff, and starts raiding things. They keep finding him in like pantries and like in the apothecary, eating all the raw ingredients. And then they start finding him in the morgue.
Yay!
They kick him out. Sorry. They don't kick him out at this point because they're like, what a weird medical oddity. Maybe he's eating dead people, but like they're dead, right? Like other than like the family's going to get pissed. There are, this is a wartime surgery in the 1700s. There are limbs.
Yeah, there are bits just kind of chopped off in trash cans.
Right. Yeah, like somebody got hit in the leg by like a musket shot. right? Arquebus shot or musket shot at this point, and a leg got cut off.
An amputation is not as we perceive amputation now.
No, it's like horrendous, and people are screaming, and like it's fucked. They can't really save you if your bone shatters. It's like they have to cut the leg off. They have no answer for this.
Yeah.
So after this point, this is a full hospital.
Mm-hmm.
A lady's baby goes missing.
Yay.
I stress how fantastic writing in this time period can be. But this is the thing that is given in many accounts of like why he's kicked out of the hospital the first time. Is that maybe he ate someone's baby when they are asleep?
Surely not. Like,
I think they would have killed him.
Yeah, that requires a suspension of some sort of like human moral compass.
Yeah.
Because given the time period, like it
right.
You can kind of like set aside the devouring of live animals and whatnot, but like there comes a line. Like there's this weird line with kids.
Yeah. That like if you, especially this is like France in the 1700s, like if you harm a woman, you might hang for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that, so that's just a thing, right? So I don't really believe this, but the fact that it was circulated is wild to me. I do believe the morgue thing. I 100% believe it because all the pamphlets that talk about him as a stage performer, as a street performer, show him eating like small animals alive, and like so that's the thing. Like if he did it at all, if this is true at all, then he like did it. And Percy writes about him just like eating fucking animals and shit, like attacking them like a beast. Like he would go for their bellies and rip them open. And so like that's how the bones were not eaten, because he would eat like like a predator. He would go for like, they would like snap their neck and eat their guts. And I want to close on this because this is such a fucking crazy story. You never know if this shit, any of this is real or not. But if you go back in literature and you think about rare medical maladies in the past being monsters.
Yeah.
Right? Like that person's got weird hair, or maybe they're a witch, like that kind of stuff.
God help you if you were albino.
I imagine that if at any point in history Tarrare was born, like a Tarrare type person was born, that has to be the origin of like some kind of ghoul or hag.
I 100% agree. That the majority of folklore is probably based on some sort of factual thing that happened, because genetics are tricky.
Yeah.
Like,
and people are crazy sometimes.
Yes, and superstition runs wild. So, like, a couple of days ago we were talking about like the Jersey Devil and stuff, and I am inclined to believe that something happened.
Yeah, somebody had a real weird looking kid that got like exiled,
like just a malformed fetus in general.
And then the story grows and grows and grows and grows, right? We talked about like the Beast of Gévaudan earlier.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's the origin story of werewolves, is like the European version anyways, largely is taken from like the Lon Chaney Wolfman type werewolf.
Yeah.
Or like you go crazed in the night with the moon and attack people, and you're like
which
a
is
dude.
In fact an actual like thing.
Yeah, some people literally have a mental disorder called lycanthropy.
Yeah.
It's like crazy.
By the way,
shit.
That's real.
Thankfully, they don't turn into giant wolf men, but they do just like attack folks.
Too much time reading the Omegaverse.
Yeah, and that's the crazy shit. Like, I actually saw a film a long time ago of a Russian guy that would like put himself into a cage, and basically he had like DID. right? Except for his alter was instead of being just a version of his personality that he would like to be or needs in the moment,
was a feral rage monster.
It was just like all of his anger, boiled down into a separate personality. It was like he was like a shitty Hulk. You know what I mean?
So when you began this segment with the baby comment, I legit thought we were going into a modest proposal. Like, that's where I thought this was going.
One of my favorite, who's that, Swift?
I believe, let me look real quick.
Fuck, I do remember reading it in high school, going like, this is so like ridiculous. And then thinking it was very funny.
Yes, correct. Good job.
And then also as an adult thinking that this was crazy racist.
My God, yes.
And the only reason
I remember that entire section in like lit.
Yeah.
Where we went over this and
it's so like it's basically him going like at the dawn of the Enlightenment, like, isn't this crap crazy? Why do these people think they all need 9 kids?
Yeah.
And like them being Catholic is a big part of it, but also them being Irish is a big part of it. And like he's in context to its time, you're like, the only reason we were really allowed to read this is because like whiteness as a concept had caught up.
Yeah.
And so we were just kind of like, it's just more Europeans. But in its day,
bro,
I mean, swap out Irish people for, say, like, I don't know, Nigerians or something. And you're just like, well, this is crazy racist.
Yeah, everything about that is just, whoa. That's where I thought we were going with this today. And I was like, oh, let's go. I remember this. And then you busted out with Tarrare. And I was like, oh, yeah. I know this one too. I don't know all of it, obviously, because you got me in a few places where I was just like, bleh.
Isn't it? It's weird to think like this is a dude.
This was just a guy. This was a guy with some sort of series of unfortunate oopsies in his genetics. Like, well, I have an uncle that also had a very large maw.
Yeah.
Like, and it was a running gag at like various family holidays to see how many rolls Uncle John could stuff in his face.
Jeez.
And the record was 10, by the way. He also had like, so just the general kind of injustice for people that are born different.
Yeah.
Like, you know, their genetics are 30 degrees off to the left.
Yeah.
It is so unfortunate. And then there's like, I don't know, like you can't really justify their treatment.
No, I will say this about not Percy. Maybe not Percy, maybe Percy, but like the other guy who was not a surgeon and was just like a doctor, right? He tried a lot of stuff. So like, because he was like, oh, we got to stop his appetite. How do we do it? So one of the things that he did is he made like tobacco pills.
Oh, yeah. It is an appetite suppressant.
Yeah, it's an appetite suppressant. He would try like things like what we would now call like milk of magnesia and stuff like that. He was giving him different like apothecary medicines.
So he was legit trying to treat him.
Yeah, that's why he was raiding the apothecary and eating the ingredients. He was like, he clued in on like something in here is going to work eventually. So like in that
No, you'll kill yourself.
Yeah, in that tidbit, he becomes suddenly more human.
Yeah.
Because you're just like, oh, he's not like just a guy eating cats. He sees the doctor in the apothecary trying to make medicines to cure him of this incredible hunger. And then he just starts eating things in the apothecary because it's not fast enough. The doctor needs to like administer something and then make notes, right? He's trying to use science, right? So
welcome to the if-then theory. Been around forever. Fuck around and find out.
Right. Yeah, this is like early. He's an apothecary. He's an early pharmacist, right? Mm-hmm. And a thing that does work for like stomach relief and gas relief and pain is nightshade.
Yep.
And so definitely he was chewing on some of that kind of stuff. And then, but the passing out thing is actually pretty normal because you eat a lot and then your body can't handle the sudden sugar spike from all the carbs you just ate or whatever you just ate. And part of like a predator's natural thing, anything's natural thing, is that you eat a lot and you digest better while you sleep. Mm-hmm. So like,
what's got me is the jaw working while he's sleeping. Is he dreaming about eating, or is this some sort of weird like muscular response to his body trying to process and digest all of the. Sorry, you have activated
Yeah.
science part of my brain, like because it's obviously his jaws are overdeveloped.
Yeah.
And he has like the joint there has insane range on top of like his esophagus being, you know, just
like a pipe. Yeah.
a pipe. What would cause that?
So unfortunately, we'll never really know. But like another thing about the smell, in people that I've met with certain medical maladies, if you've ever been next to somebody who salivates a lot and doesn't necessarily have the ability to clean themselves up, like somebody who, you know, maybe it had some brain trauma,
Mm-hmm.
they have a strong odor to them, a strong acidic odor to them that is, you'll never forget it. The first time you smell it, you're just like, whoa, that smells like danger. It smells like it's not quite rot, but it smells like unclean.
Oh, rot typically smells sweet.
Yeah. This isn't that. This is acidic. And it's because that's what saliva does.
Yeah, it begins the breakdown process of your food while you're chewing it before it hits your stomach and then your digestive system.
So I kind of, this is just pure conjecture, but I wonder if he's just constantly salivating because his throat is so massive.
Well, it's also your body trying to lubricate things to, like, you know.
Yeah. And then, but
because I mean, dry mouth is one of the worst things on this planet, and I stand by that. That is one of the hills I will die on. No, let me rephrase that. That is one of the hills that I will kill people on.
Yeah.
Dry mouth is the fucking worst.
Imagine if your mouth is 4 inches wide.
Ugh!
4 inches, like 4 inches between the teeth when you open your mouth.
I want to know more about his personality, like how he was in general, like because it is inferred that he's kind of dim.
So in the stuff that I read, right, like it's less that he's not that he's like stupid. It's that or anything like that. It's that he's uninterested in things.
Mm-hmm.
And like people said that he was okay. Like when they talk to, like when people talk about him, they're like, yeah, he's nice. And so I kind of imagined him to be like almost cat-like. Like he would eat a lot and then he would sleep and then he just kind of like, I think really what is happening is I think he's in pain all the time too.
I was going to suggest that, like as someone that has, you know, gastrointestinal bullshit, like pain is something that you kind of like when it initially hits, it's debilitating.
Yeah.
But then you grow used to it over time and you just kind of like it's there. And just like him, like one of the big things, like if I'm hurting or if it's just particularly annoying that day, I will sleep.
Yeah. And maybe even like dissociate a little.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like when I was going through all my shit, like I would get like pseudo seizures. Like, you know what I mean? Like where I would just like clock out, mentally check out because it hurt. And so like there's nothing I could do about it. It's inside my body. Right. And so.
Dude, the human mind is so cool.
Yeah. And so like I wonder if some of his like lack of ideas and stuff that they talk about is him just clocking out.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's fucking eating rocks.
Right. Like
imagine the agony.
Like imagine what it does to your psyche to be like, the only way I can feed myself is to be a bit of like a circus freak and do like he's got to eat trash to feed himself. You know what I mean? Like, because he's just eating so much. I don't know if it ever.
I want to know more about his like general physiology too, because like the mental image painted of like his skin being so loose that he could just wrap it around himself.
Yeah, speaks of like severe dehydration, but also the fact that he's like eating so much that he's like expanding.
Well, and the fact that like the loose skin exists and he can wrap it around himself gives you the kind of like. I don't know. In my head, he loses weight and gains weight very, very,
extremely
very
fast. Yeah, to the point where it's stretching his skin.
The elasticity of his skin is just shot.
Yeah, it's so cool. So Percy did he wrote a book. His examinations of Tarrare are in a book, and you can go find it. It's in French, but I'm sure there's an English translation somewhere because it's like old French. You know what I mean?
My French is rusty at this point.
And it's also like French as it would have been spoken by like George Washington. You know what I mean? Like, so it's
that's a whole nother language.
Yeah, it's like it's fairly dated, and so like, but it's the Wikipedia article actually like lists. Of course, it lists all the sources, and like Percy's pamphlet is about. I'm not sure if it's like a full book. But a lot of people have written about Tarrare, and a lot of people have cited Percy as like their information source.
Well, yeah, he was the guy that like, you know, not only examined him, treated it, but also did his autopsy.
Yeah.
So.
And again, grain of salt because he's also selling this thing.
Yeah.
So like, there's a little bit of that in there.
There's a chance that it's probably fantasticized.
Yeah.
But
something's.
This poor fucking guy.
Yeah. And he like when he goes across enemy lines and then gets captured, like he gets like beat for real. Like they're like
they're torturing him.
Yeah, they're beating the shit out of him, and he's like, "Fine, here's what I'm doing." Like some versions of this story, this is how wild they get. Some versions of the story have him passing the box and then re-finding it and re-swallowing it so that they don't find it. Because they don't know there's a box. They're not looking at a stool, right?
Yeah.
As long as nobody sees him.
Well, and considering how quickly his digestive system, like, or rather his metabolic rate is,
yeah,
it's entirely possible. Like, so, hang on. Too many thoughts at once. Focus. Choose one. Move forward. It's entirely possible that his digestive system either moves so slowly that it takes the full 3 days to pass it, or it doesn't.
Right. And it's super fast.
And it's just whoop!
So the
through
thing,
the chute.
The thing that he actually dies of, I'm doing a terrible job at like actually putting all this together, but like we're going back and forth.
Listen, there's so much in this.
Yeah, for what is just a page of notes. But like you can pull at it, right?
Yeah.
What he dies of is not really tuberculosis. He dies of diarrhea.
Yeah.
He just dehydrates to death.
Yeah.
Which is what like cholera does to you. You know, like you shit yourself.
Cholera and dysentery.
Yeah. And so like
no fluids in your body.
But so when I was a kid, and this is why I keyed on this so much, I had a massive metabolism to the point to where it would hurt. And like I had to go through like full GI spectrums, blood work, all that other kind of crap, and it would hurt so bad that I would just mentally check out. But you would get so hungry that like I would eat, like there were times where I sat down to eat ramen noodles and I would eat 4 or 5 packs. Now
That's a lot of noodles, bro.
I was never as hungry as him, but something that happens is that like your brain outclocks your stomach. So you start eating a lot. Your stomach can't handle it. You cramp. It's terribly painful. And then it all just
comes back out. Yeah.
Yeah, like, and so it's like that, but like times 20. You know, it was like he must have been screaming at times.
But like the reports also say that he did not vomit often.
Neither did I.
That's.
And like my
I don't know.
You could see my like large intestine because that would swell, and so nothing like this, right? Like this is crazy. This is just I just ate too much. It swelled in my stomach and hurt. Yeah, that's it. Moving on.
You certainly weren't eating rocks.
Right. I just wasn't gross.
I am hung the fuck up on that.
That's crazy.
Like, why would you do that? Like I know that, who is it? What is it? Geese?
Yeah.
Will eat gravel?
Maybe his guts
to
were
aid
just
with
that
digestion?
Big. Yeah.
I don't.
Because it doesn't seem to have bothered him. I mean, like you said, like when he was on the bed, right? He's like, Dr. Percy, there's a fork sucking me. I swallowed a fork.
First of all, homie.
It must have been that.
Why are you eating a gold fork? Sell the gold fork for food.
Maybe that was a part of the thing. Maybe somebody was like, I bet you can't eat this fork. And then he was like, part of his performance, right?
Say less.
And when he disappears, I assume he's just traveling around being a performer again. Because, like, if nothing else, if you get booed and people are throwing produce at you.
Behold, produce.
Yeah,
no,
like
a
that's
salad.
Right. He's not.
That's nuts. This poor guy. Like, and not only are you, like, you know, just kind of physically unfortunate by all descriptors, but like, and you smell because your digestive system is working overtime.
Yeah. You might, because of the sheer size of his gullet, because that is what they write. They're like, his gullet, you know, like your whole arm would go down, right? Like it's like a pipe. Part of his smell might literally just be that you're smelling his stomach acid.
Yeah, it's his breath. Like, and it's not like breath from his mouth. Like you know when you get like sour stomach and you get the sulfur burps.
Yeah,
that.
And like when people describe his teeth, they're like large and misshapen and discolored, and I've met people that have like that thing where their body like rejects their teeth.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always really felt for them because there's nothing they could do about that shit.
Well, and people with acid reflux also tend to have bad teeth. Reflux, not reflex. Because there's so much spare acid.
Yeah.
That it
once the enamel's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Porous dentin. Yeah.
Yep.
You basically have to get falsies put in or nothing, right? Yeah. So like enamels put on, anyways. But like, what are they called? Veneers.
I knew we'd get there eventually.
Yeah,
but like
40 front teeth is.
Consider the smell. Like I don't. Did y'all ever do like the hydrochloric acid section in like chemistry?
Yeah. Well, I unfortunately didn't take it. Like in our school, we were very small school,
wow.
underfunded. You had your choice. You had to take either human anatomy or chemistry. Most people didn't have the room for both in their schedule, so like you just had one. I took human anatomy.
Well, the to drop food or like things in hydrochloric acid, which is primarily what's in your stomach.
Yeah.
The smell, to quote Agent Smith.
The smell.
Like it's there, like you said earlier, like when you come across someone that has a lot of acid in their saliva and isn't capable of wiping themselves down.
Yeah.
There is a smell. There is a very distinct smell of digestion.
Yeah.
Because it's essentially the acid corroding whatever it is that's been put in it.
Yeah.
And it will change depending on whether it is like, proteins from a meat or like, an apple or things. And, there's also, this is pure conjecture because I have no backing on this, but like, it is said that like a vegetarian will often smell less than someone who is an omnivore.
Yeah, for the lack of like digestive meat.
Yeah.
Smelling, basically.
So like, and it falls back
compost.
Into. No, I didn't say that.
Yeah. But we unfortunately we just don't know.
That's wild.
It begins and ends
with a question mark.
Yeah, with a question mark. With people writing about him. There are no words in his own hand that I'm aware of anyway.
Historical medical cold cases.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of a little bit of a hobby of mine. Like, cause one of my main interests is King Henry VIII.
Yeah.
Who went from being like boss.
Yeah.
To fucking crazy at the end.
Yeah.
And like his ailments and maladies and stuff are so well documented. Like it's just kind of trying to put like modern medical diagnoses on top of it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And what is probably like 4 different things compiled on top of each other.
On top of syphilis.
Yeah.
Because it always comes back to syphilis.
Kicked in the head. Like fell off a horse, hit in the head. Tournament CTE.
Yeah.
Probably mercury from syphilis treatment. Diabetes.
And the fact that he half drowned at one point.
Yeah, that he was actually like not breathing for a very long amount of time. Yeah.
But anyway, back to Tarrare. But like, just I would love, me personally, I would love to see like a modern expert take on these papers, these records, these, what's the word I'm looking for here?
Yeah, all this documented evidence, like
of what was up with this guy and try to, piece together a medical profile on him, because that's just fucking nuts.
Most people do say that the general consensus is polyphagia. Mm-hmm. But they also they all put asterisks. I was like, yeah, we don't know. We don't even know if this guy's like 100% real. We just don't know. And it's nuts.
That's crazy.
I stress again, this is like our the end of our very first episode when I was like, teeth. Extra teeth. Our extra teeth for this is, and then they gave him a live cat. And he ate it.
Why a live cat?
I think
why specifically alive? Like, are they trying to trigger the revulsion part of it of like, I won't take a life.
Probably. If it happened, because part of the thing is like probably just checking to see if he's nuts. Remember, there is no Freud hasn't been born yet. There's no psychology to speak of other than like things that just get right almost by accident with like, you know what I mean? With like esoteric stuff of like how the mind works. And then medicine.
I'm not wearing my watch.
Yeah. Medicine isn't like great either.
No, absolutely the fuck not. No.
Thankfully, if you're gonna be anywhere in the world for medicine,
we're still very much at the point of like ghosts in your blood, do cocaine about it.
Yeah, there's no
you're hysterical, go masturbate. I mean,
yeah, there's no anesthesia at all.
Can I say that?
Yeah, you can say what. I mean, to be honest, I think that one still holds up. You know, like you're freaking out, go wank about it. You know, like
short circuit your brain for a few minutes.
Yeah.
Give yourself like space to calm down. There you go.
I straight up refuse to believe there's a medical thing about like men not understanding like orgasms and stuff. So there's one doctor that invents this thing for hysteria. It's a box that you sit on.
It's the first vibrator.
Yeah, so it's like it's exactly like that thing the day I figured out why women sit on dryers. You know what I mean? The moment somebody explained that to me, I was like, that's nuts. I've seen people do this constantly in every family's household. And I was like, this is crazy. We're just doing this in the open.
In the 90s sitcoms where the teenage girl would take the phone call sitting on the dryer.
Always sitting on the dryer. And I was like, that's crazy. We just showed that. But like, so the box.
Things that like slipped right over your head as a child, but as an adult, you're like, aha!
Yeah. Jeez. But remember the pens that had like the little hammer that moved around that made your writing squiggly?
Yeah.
So it was like a box with one of those on like a rubber belt, and it would just like, it would vibrate.
Yeah.
And he was like, take this for hysteria. And I was like,
have you seen the pamphlets for it?
Yeah. This is like, okay, he's not an idiot.
No.
This is one for the gals. Yeah.
Homie knows what's up.
Yeah.
Homie knows what's up. Also, fucking Rome knew what was up too.
That's right. Yeah. I was like there's this thing that like, and I do believe this of like aristocratic doctors and these like Royal Society type things where they're so closed off that they're just totally fucking oblivious. But the fact that like we still find all the time, this is one of the things that you find in like not mummified graves, not graves of the mummies, but like when they find random graves, anybody who just had a sealed tomb of Egyptians, they find dildos all the time.
Yeah. This is not new.
No, they're everywhere. Yeah, I was like, they're everywhere and they're in every culture. It's sometimes a joke, like the backstop of an English dagger in like a medieval and Renaissance. So it has this like, instead of a cross guard, because it's just meant for like a tool dagger and like a boot knife, it has where they roll the metal over. And they literally call it a bollocks dagger because it looks like a dick and balls. You know, it's like people got it. They know, you know, like that's not a thing. Some
of the oldest graffiti is in fact a peen.
Yeah.
So
it's like there's no, you know, like when they came up with the hysteria stuff, it's like, how do you say someone needs to wank about it in a culture where you cannot legally describe a vagina in public?
Dude.
You know, it's like, you got to do something, right? Like, I've always thought that was the case of like some of these doctors are fucking oblivious. That's very clear, right? From just the books and medical data. But like the roaming womb thing, we're totally off fucking topic.
Yeah, we have veered straight into the paths unknown, which is fine because like we were locked in for this episode.
Yeah, it was like
dude.
15 minutes long.
Dude.
We were under an hour easy. So like, so there's this thing that I know you've heard of, right?
Welcome to the after show.
Yeah. the roaming womb thing. People used to think that the womb like moved around. Mm-hmm. So I read this thing one time where they were talking about like endometriosis and stuff. And they were like, well, if your only knowledge is cadavers and you find like tissues all over the body.
Have you seen endometriosis?
How do you rationalize
like
that?
I say late stage, but like advanced endometriosis.
Yeah.
It's like briar bramble within the body.
Yeah. So you see,
don't go look this up. Do not.
No, don't.
It's nightmare
it's really
fuel.
fucking wild. But sometimes, like, if you're new to, like, the microscope is all the rage and you've got it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, you start identifying different kinds of cells. And then you're just like, well, these are like womb cells, right? Because there's no language for all this shit.
Yeah.
And you're just like most, like, Galen's autopsy was based on, like, fucking hopes and dreams. He didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. You know what I mean? Like, that's like, really, Hippocrates' stuff was, like, way better. And even he, if you actually read his stuff, is full of shit. Like, he doesn't know any of this stuff. It's so, all of this is, if your only real knowledge when you enter the Enlightenment period and you're like in the late 1700s, 1800s, and you're like doing cadavers and trying to figure out what cancer is.
Yeah.
And you see these cells.
Because the word cancer has been around as a malady for, like, ever.
Forever. Yeah, because you can see it.
Yeah.
Like, it's on the skin, it's in boils, it's, you know, like, people could physically see it.
Like, it would be diagnosed as a cancer of blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. And people would get, like, goiters, right?
Yeah.
And they'd be like, check that out, you know, like, and so they kind of knew, right? But they're trying to figure out, like, to autopsy a body for the first time. Like, hey, how does breast milk work? Like, we know how milk works. Like, we know how milk and everything works. But where does it come from? You know what I mean? Like, is it from fucking thin air? Is it made from the fat? Which would make sense because when you separate milk, it has a fat layer. So, like, they knew certain things about the body by just deductive reasoning. But, like, science is different, right? You don't just deduce things, you test it.
Yeah,
and, like, you
test
go
the
through
theory and then adjust as needed.
So, like, imagine being an early surgeon and, like, being in school and somebody's dug up a body out of a grave, and so
you bought one,
or it's a convict or something that was executed, and you're, like, taking open a body and you find, I don't know, hair on the inside, because that happens sometimes, right? People get those, like, 3 foot long overgrown hairs, and they're
or those unfortunate people that have, like, the calcified twin.
Yeah. And what do you do with that? You know, like, do you start saying, like, you can kind of see how they thought the humor theory and stuff was possible, because, like, if you cut open a corpse in, like, ancient Greece, right, or, like, Alexandria, not ancient, they wouldn't like to do that, but Alexandria, right, and you look at it and you see somebody with, like, bone spurs, you know,
your
like,
bones just decide to grow more bone.
Yeah, and then you're just like, hey, what the fuck's causing this? If this is a logical machine, and in the way of thinking that, like, everything is designed by some kind of God or even thought, and then you see something like that, you have to, like, kind of reckon that maybe something got out of balance, and then it just kept going where it shouldn't, and maybe that's what cancer is or what disease is, because you can't see it. And so, like, it's so easy to poke fun at them and go, like, what a bunch of fucking more. And sometimes I do just be like, you guys are dipshits. But, like, also it would be like if an alien showed up tomorrow and then just did something highly technological. We're advanced enough as a species to where I would know logically that it was not magic.
Yeah, that's science.
But my impulse would be mysticism. You're either you're a god or this is some kind of magic. You just did some crazy shit. You know what I mean?
Or, like, I bet teleportation probably looks like magic.
Yeah, because you're just gone all of a sudden. Yeah. And then so the Tarrare thing kind of, like, reminded me of some of those thoughts, like, what late night you slept for 2 hours.
Yeah,
thoughts.
and, like, the whole time I'm sitting here thinking, this guy's just like a goblin, like an actual goblin.
Yeah. Just swallowing things up like a troll. Yeah, like, and I thought about, like, what if that was a thing, though? What if, like, some dude had this way long time ago and they're like, he's a troll.
Dude, I would legit love to, like, go in and try to find the basis, like, the starting point for various folklore, like, and critters and stuff.
Yeah.
Because, like,
like the mastodon skull for Cyclops.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Or like, dinosaur bones as dragons.
As dragons.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I contend that a worm does exist. Because I've seen a Komodo monitor. And I was like, you know what I mean? If you're a Norseman and you make it far enough out into the wilds, or you make it to like Constantinople and or Byzantium at the time, and people are like importing things. Imagine you're a Varangian guard at the Hagia Sophia guarding Justinian's kid, right? Or something. And then somebody's like, my lord, look at this thing we brought from the Far East. And it's like a python. How do you see that? That's a fucking dragon, dude. Like, you're like, that's a big fucking monster. Look at it. It's like,
oh, Jormungandr.
Yeah, you're just like, that's crazy. What the fuck is that? It has no arms and it's like 15 feet long. What?
And this
guy tried to pull it out of a cage and it crushed him to death. It bit his face and crushed him to death.
The regional zoology would be cool too.
Yeah,
like, because there are areas where like I know that we joke about Australia being the nope zone.
Yeah,
because there's just a lot of nope over there. Nope.
A whole lot of nope.
Great people, just a whole lot of nope. But like, think about that. The creatures that are indigenous to various regions that are only there. And then just as an explorer, you're just fucking around and Komodo fucking dragon walks by. What the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah, that's so alien to like everything else.
Or a goddamn kangaroo.
Yeah. I think this dog wants to fight me. I don't
Imagine the first person that saw an ostrich.
Fuck, dude.
Or an emu.
Yeah, just attack
pigeon.
Attack pigeon. Yeah, a giant attack pigeon. And they hadn't even seen. Some of these guys have never seen a turkey.
Yeah.
The closest thing that they've got is like an albatross. Right, like sailors would have seen like large seabirds.
Yeah, like that. Obviously, that is avian of some. Oh my god, it's coming at me! Run!
It's a fucking huge chicken.
What's the other one?
Yeah.
What's the other one with the crest on its head that's just mad?
Oh, cassowary.
Thank you.
The poisonous one with like the fucking super dinosaur. That's a dinosaur.
Yeah,
that's a fucking look. Like this is the kind of shit I'm talking about. When I'm like, that's a goddamn dragon. If you are some poor schmuck from Wales and you make it out on one of these runs and you see a cassowary, your brain has got to be freaking the fuck out.
Well, it kind of makes sense. Like, I still don't understand how we got mermaids from manatees. I don't get that.
I don't get that at all.
The
I think
mysticism surrounding like narwhals and stuff.
Yeah,
that I get.
Real sea monster.
Yeah.
In the saga of Beowulf, one of the monsters that they encounter while he's swimming against Brecca is just a narwhal. Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the sea monsters. A straight up narwhal.
And krakens are real.
And krakens are a real thing.
We have ricocheted so hard.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
So maybe Tarrare was real. 100% eating live cats.
What? I doubt he was eating live cats. Like he probably didn't pick up a screaming cat and this is getting dark. He probably dispensed of the cat before he ate it.
I don't know. I've known some guys to eat some questionable pussy.